Welcome back to another installment of the series, Are They Dupes? I'm self-conscious about my little stubby fingernails because I've been wearing press-ons for like a month at this point. I took them off to let my nails breathe, so I feel like they look really weird now, so just please don't look at my nails, thank you. If you're new to Are They Dupes, this is a series in which I pull several pairs of multichrome eyeshadows from my collection and I put them face to face under an analytical lens and I put them both on my eyes at the same time because as we know, swatches don't tell the full story. One thing to note is that skin depth and undertone does play a role in how similar certain pigments look when applied. So for context, I do have fair skin with olive undertone and I think this may play a role in how some of these appear. For this series, I purposely pull pairs of eyeshadows that I feel like could go either way in terms of whether you consider them dupes, depending on who you ask or how you perceive them. I think it's fun to open a discussion. I love to hear everyone's thought process about why you would consider this one a dupe or this one not a dupe and your reasoning behind that. So definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments for each of these pairs because I do read every single one and I'd love to hear what you guys say. Okay, for the first set, once again, we have two shades from Terra Moons. Both of these were sent to me in PR, and anything else that I received in PR will be indicated with an asterisk. So first we have Titania. This is described by the brand as a peachy pink with strong gold shifts, and I describe it as an iridescent multichrome that shifts pink, spicy orange, gold, green, has a medium particle size, and a shiny, sparkly finish. Next we have Sublunar, which is described as a hot pink, green, orange, and gold multichrome. This has a very large particle size and it's very flaky. So first of all, I gotta say it, I hate when brands use such different descriptions for such similar shades because as you can see, these are the same type of multichrome pigment. Like when the light hits the mica particle, from this angle they both show pink, from this angle they both show orange, etc. If you consume my content regularly, you know this stuff drives me crazy and I always point it out. I think brands need to be more clear when they're selling two things that are extremely similar because this is how you end up with frustrated consumers who are buying nearly identical products feeling like they wasted their money. But I digress. The only difference that I really detect is in the size of the mica flakes. In Sublunar, the flakes are much larger, so the colors are more intense. I don't think anyone needs both of these. I think you can just pick one or the other. The only reason why I have both is because both of them are sent to me in PR by the brand. But if I had to keep only one, I would choose Titania because I think it's a bit easier to use with that smaller particle size. So I guess the question is, do you think the difference in particle size is enough to differentiate these? Because I'm thinking like, if these were two shades from two different brands, I would probably consider them dupes. I feel like it could go either way. In this next set, we have two orange ones. First, we have Trinket from Clionadh Cosmetics. This is one of their glittered multichromes and it's described as an orange base with aqua, indigo, red shifts. We have Axis from Terra Moons, and this is described as an orangey coral base with blue and pink shifts. This is sold with their duochromes. I had Axis from Terra Moons, and I didn't buy Trinket from Clionadh for the longest time because I saw a lot of people saying these are dupes. To me, they're different. Not different enough that I would recommend going out and buying both. Like, I think you could choose one or the other, but I don't think they're interchangeable like I've seen other people suggest. The base of Trinket is lighter and it has a lot more yellow in it. In addition, the sparkles that shift colors are more densely packed, so it creates this extremely glossy, sparkly, wet look finish. Like, this is one of the most wet looking eyeshadows I've ever used, and I feel like even when I just apply it to my bare lid, it's this beautiful, glossy, reflective sheen. Axis has a deeper, more opaque base with a lot more red in the orange tone. The sparkles shift the same colors. Like, I think if you were to isolate just these shifting sparkles of each shade, they would be identical, but the way they're distributed is different. You can see the orange base of Axis peeking through a lot more, rather than this glossy sheen of wet-looking glimmer that you see in Trinket. And the last key difference is in the texture and finish. Trinket is a lot more smooth and feels almost creamy to me, even though it has so many densely packed sparkles, whereas Axis is more coarse and flaky. I did an Instagram post on this and I really liked hearing you guys' thoughts, so let me know if you didn't comment on that post. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Okay, next up I have first Enceladus from Terra Moons, which is described as a muted silvery blue-green multichrome eyeshadow with lavender shifts and hints of green. This is currently my favorite eyeshadow from Terra Moons because it embodies like all of my favorite eyeshadow qualities. It's semi-sheer, spreads out beautifully to create this dimensional wash of sparkles, Like, it's just one of the most perfect specimens to me, even though it's not one of the most shifty eyeshadows that they sell. Just really treasure and love this one. Next, we have Splash from Looxi Beauty, which is described as a metallic green-blue with shifts of smoky purple-gray. I bought this a while back during a Looxi sale because my friend Catherine B. Beauty said this is pretty spot on for Enceladus. The main difference in terms of colors and shifts, I don't see any purple shift in Splash that we see in Enceladus. And it also doesn't have any of those like pinprick sparkles of blue and purple. And I know Catherine mentioned in her video that Enceladus has a much deeper base, but I don't know, in mine, I just don't feel like it has a base really at all, and that's like what I love most about it. Like, it's just this beautiful suspended multichrome pigment. I would say Splash is overall more of like a teal green eyeshadow, whereas Enceladus is more of like a teal with a little bit of gold and purple. This is like really getting into the weeds here. I feel like if I applied both of these as a wash of sparkle all over my lid, like one on one eye and one on the other, you would be hard pressed to find a difference in a realistic setting. Also, this Looxi eyeshadow is $3, so if you're wanting to get a good deal on this type of eyeshadow, you've heard me talk about Enceladus in like every video, or maybe if you're not supporting Terra Moons currently, I feel like this is a great alternative. I've learned that Looxi formulas are very much hit or miss. Some of them are very waxy and thick. This is one of the more easily spreadable formulas, and I feel like you don't have to really put in a lot of effort to create a beautiful wash of sparkles, so I really like the formula of this in terms of Looxi shadows. Okay, the next three groups are all going to be greens. I had a request in my last episode to include some greens, even though you guys know I have an aversion to vibrant green eyeshadow, but I have plenty in my collection, so I'm happy to do these comparisons. First, we have Quasar from Terra Moons, which is described as a vibrant lime green with pink and purple shifts. And then we have Tiul from Glamshop, which I couldn't find a description in English on the website, but it's like basically a teal with pink and gold shifts. So Quasar is more of a smooth feeling eyeshadow, which does have some sparkle in it, and it shifts from a soft pink to gold to green. I definitely wouldn't describe it as a lime green base. I feel like it's more of a mint green. I don't really see any warmth in that base at all. And then Teal from Glamshop definitely has more of a teal base. Like if I were to group these, I would group Quasar with greens and Teal with blues. And the pink in Tool is more cool tone, but it also shifts to gold and green. And the other difference is that the Glamshop shadow is more flaky and sparkly, whereas I would describe Quasar as like a shiny finish with some sparkle to it. Teal is more of a high impact sparkle finish. Next we have Wall of Ivy from Clionadh, which is described as a warm brown base with lime, aqua, indigo shifts. And we're comparing it to M51 from Terra Moons, one of my faves, which is described as shifting green, purple, red, and has hints of blue. So I think there are quite a few differences to unpack here. I did the eye swatches first, and I didn't initially clock this, but when I went and did these swatches for the back of my hand, I realized that I think I realized that I think Wall of Ivy is actually closer to Space Case from Terra Moons. And I'll do a dedicated Instagram post on this. Hopefully it should be up by the time I do this video. And maybe if you guys want to see Wall of Ivy and Space Case look like next to each other on the eyes, I can include those two in the next episode of this series. Let me know in the comments. But I do think those are more similar. So as far as differences between these two shades, first of all, M51 has that really pronounced purple shift, which gives it this like ethereal, murky watercolor quality that I love so much about it. I don't see this purple in Wall of Ivy at all. It shifts from green, teal, blue, and indigo, but no purple. Additionally, Wall of Ivy has a pretty distinct base that you can see peeking through on the edges, which makes it great for a one shadow look, but it is something that differentiates it from the gray base shadows from Terra Moons. The base of M51 is maybe a bit cooler tone, but it's a lot more sheer, so you almost don't really see it at all. These shadows are very similar in concept, but they have different effects on the eyes. So I don't know, I freaking love these types of eyeshadows, so maybe the differences are more pronounced to me. Let me know what you think. For the last group, we have my least favorite types of green eyeshadows, which are like these like really vibrant lime green. So first we have Topiary from Clionadh, which is described as a mid-tone green base with peach, gold, aqua shifts. And then we have Critical Mass from Terra Moons, which is described as a soft, warm, green-based multichrome eyeshadow with yellow, teal, and blue shifts. Now these I feel like look really similar in the pans, but they're definitely not as similar as I thought in my head. Topiary is a lot more muted, and I actually like this one a lot for a like lime green eyeshadow. Like if you told me I had to wear a lime green eyeshadow, this is someone I would reach for. I feel like that peachy pink shift makes it a lot more wearable for me, and it almost like subdues the green, so I feel like it's a lot more approachable. Whereas with Critical Mass, it's a lot more reflective and vibrant. It doesn't have any of that peachy reflect. It's more of a straight gold, green, and teal shift. They both feel pretty creamy and smooth with a small particle size, and they both have some finely milled dispersed sparkles. But in terms of the overall tone and effect, they're a lot more different than I initially thought. But let me know what you think. So that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you'd like to see in the next episode for this series. If there's any particular pairs of eyeshadows you want to see, if I have them, I'll definitely include them. And let me know which pair you thought was the most similar and which pair you thought was the most different in the comments. But I hope you liked this. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!